Good morning, everybody. Coming live and direct from Ireland, the heart of Ireland. Um, so I just want to start this broadcast by, first of all, just explaining what's happening here. So I I've been wanting to do something like this for a while now, and eventually I just started taking these baby steps towards putting it together, and over time it will grow into something more cohesive and better all around. But for now, it is a very relaxed, very sort of very relaxed, um, casual endeavor. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is go through some articles, some videos, maybe share some thoughts, and I so I'll be taking my time with it. No rush. There's no panic. If you want to share some thoughts, or if there's something that you want to mention, or you would like to highlight, or something that you would like to share with the world, or for me to share, you can write, say whatever you want in the comments. Even say hello, Angela. Good morning, Angela. Um, so, one second. So you can say something in the comments. Say hello. If there's any articles you want to share, any videos that you think are interesting. If there's any points of note, any thoughts, or whatever you want to share at all, feel free to do so. Okay. So I have few different articles that I was reading this morning that I will share with you, um, and a couple of videos as well that I've been wanting to share over time. The thing with this as well is that it's nothing is sort of prepared or pre-planned and organized, and that will make a difference later on. So you're here at the very beginning stages of it, um, and I appreciate you being here. Um, but yeah, later on, I'm sure I have some sort of plans and preparations and stuff. But right now, we're just taking it as it comes, and I just pressing the record button or the go live button, because if I didn't do this, then it wouldn't happen. And if I had to prepare things, it would take too long and it might not happen, because that would just seem like being too much like being back in school again. Um, so I appreciate you being here. I'd like if you could just say in the comments what part of the world you're from, if you want to say hello, and if you have any thoughts to share. Um, just one little thing. I have a bit of sniffles this morning, so I'm after putting on some extra layers of clothes. Um, but if I might have to just turn the mic off for a second every now and again. But if you do hear me sniffle, please forgive me. Um, and I'm just about to pour my coffee. So let me know if what you guys are doing. Have you had your breakfast yet? This is how I like to do my coffee. The old cafetiere French press. But what are you guys up to? Have you had your coffee yet? Have you had your breakfast? That's very satisfying for a lot of people. The morning meditation, brewing the coffee. One second. That's good stuff. So if you can see my cup there, it says chilling here and now. Here and now. That's the message. That is the message right there. Here and now. Good. Oh, tea and toast, Angela. Good. I hope you enjoyed them. So just on that message there, here and now, that is the message that, well, one of the messages that I promote myself through my work and my life. Um for a long time, since 2012, I my work, I was actually getting paid to help people to be here now. Um, so in 2012, I completed my yoga teacher training. That's, you can see the certification up there. But one of the sort of greatest points of my life. One second. I thought I was going to sneeze. So, uh, but in 2012, I completed my teacher training, and since then, I have been working around the country and in other places, bringing yoga, mindfulness, meditation, inner peace, here and nowness. Namaste. Namaste, Elizabeth Clark. Hello. Clark with an E. Beautiful to have you here. So good to see you. How was life with you? Just having my morning coffee here. So, um, perhaps you could do a live yoga session sometime. Absolutely, yeah. If you are interested in something like that, I am definitely interested in hosting something like that. Um, Online yoga session. Um, or even what? Good morning, Mags. Thank you for joining us. Um, I would definitely love to do something like that. Um, what I've done already before is I've just a little bit of background. I've been teaching since 2012. Um, I won't go into the long story now, but I got inspired years ago as well. Um, wanted to bring basically yoga to everybody. Did extra trainings, and eventually then I've been teaching people from like I used to say 3 years old up to 93. um, but then it turned into doing yoga, doing prenatal. So technically, I'm working with people who are like, I mean, before they're born, which is brilliant, and right up to um, nursing homes and working with special needs and schools and regular folk. And for it's been amazing. Yeah, and a meditation, absolutely. Uh, what's that? I have to go. Okay, we're back. Much love. Namaste to you. Great to thank you for joining us, and hope to see you around more. So have a great day. Um, so yeah. Um, one second. I'm just gonna put up this burner. Or what am I? Do, 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 do. Okay. So, um, but yeah, since the whole lockdown thing, I haven't been able to teach, and I love teaching. I love the whole aspect of it. Like, I'm working with everybody from complete beginners to experienced practitioners. Um, but what I did it during the lockdown. I did 3 sessions, um, and my approach with that was more of a my approach anyway is mindfulness based yoga. Um, but when I was doing it online, I felt more comfortable doing it sort of like a more mindfulness based approach, and started off with sitting or chair yoga. Um, so I'd be sitting down and doing some stretches and some breathing and mindfulness and all that stuff. Um, and eventually, then by the third class, I was standing up when we're doing some stretches and stuff, standing up. Um, but I do so working with say nursing homes and students as well. I would use more of a mm, chair yoga approach where we're sitting down in the chair and we're doing going through all of the same motions, working out the different parts of the body. But the most important thing that I have found throughout all of the years is the breath, and that's why I really focus on the breath when I'm teaching. Um, so yeah, definitely interested in doing sessions like that in the future. Um, if I'm doing that, it would probably be, probably using Zoom or some other app like that, because for me, I need to have that connection where I can see people, and if I need to, I can guide them along, or you know, I like, but I need to have that connection, even if it's just one person there. Yeah, yeah, totally. The breath is everything. Seriously, it's absolutely key in all of this. Um, and one of the things I say, I'm sure others have said it as well, but the quality of your breath determines the quality of your life. Okay, and especially the quality of your breath determines the quality of your current state of mind. Um, So there are a couple of, especially in these times as well, like, I mean, when like things are crazy out there, um, and the news and newspapers and TV and all that stuff, um, they are just having a field day with people's minds. Um, it they've never been good, okay, but they thrive on chaos and fear and all of this stuff, which is why it is now more important than ever that to be aware, self-aware, and to be aware of your breath, and to have that, to maintain that quality of breath. Um, one second, a bit of a sniffle. um, but yeah, so now more than ever, it's really important to have that awareness. Chair yoga is good. My 90-year-old can attend. Absolutely. Seriously, like, this is why I love chair yoga, because everybody can do it. And a lot of people think that, I actually love where this conversation is going, and this is why it's nice to have people interacting, and we can bounce off each other. So I really appreciate you being here, Angela, and interacting here, because I had zero idea where this conversation was going to go, and I thought I was just going to read like some articles and stuff. Um, but I actually feel I actually feel right now reading those articles wouldn't be beneficial to this video, because because they are a lot of, they're covering things about what's happening in the world, and and it is important to know these things and to stay aware, but it is highly important to never forget that the power is within you, each one of us, and that inner peace. And that is what I teach as well, is that um, that that peace that everyone seeks, and a lot of people feel that they're lacking, and a lot of people can't cope in the world, which is very obvious, because they're missing that inner peace, and that is because they're not connected to themselves. Okay, um, but that peace is constant and is always within us, and it only takes a moment for us to actually take a breath and connect right back to ourselves, and to connect to that inner peace. And the more you do that, the easier it is to remember and to realize that peace is always with us. We are peace. So when we connect to ourselves, then we connect to that peace. And it just takes a moment, one breath, and you're right back in it, back in the present moment, here and now, as the cup says. This is all completely unplanned, by the way, but these are the best moments. Um, so yeah, Angela, you and your mother are very, very welcome to join, and I would love to do an online session of chair yoga slash mindfulness meditation, and even some elements of laughter yoga. I teach laughter yoga as well. I don't know. Have you ever heard of laughter yoga? It's another beautiful concept, um, created by Dr. Madan Kataria over in India. So I've been teaching that for a good few years now as well. And I like to incorporate different elements, especially with the younger kids, and with the, it's funny actually, the extremities, with the kids and with um, the nursing home folks. These two people, I give a really all-rounded class where it's a combination of chair yoga, mindfulness, breath work, and laughter yoga, and it really helps. Would love your chair yoga and laughter yoga. Brilliant. Um, so yeah, that like when you fuse all these different things together, um, and then at the end of it, you just leave feeling both at peace, completely at peace, and energized. That's a beautiful state, and that's I always sort of relate that to yoga being completely relaxed and at peace, but also feeling vibrant and full of life and energized. So it's a beautiful aspect of yoga class. Of course, there's different types of yoga and stuff, but this is uh, the way I've been teaching it and the way I do it. Um, it's more about the inner person and how you're feeling and this inner self, rather than the physical. Well, the physical is obviously important, but we use the body and the physical to connect to that inner space. Um, but it's more about the inside world rather than how we look on the outside. And yeah, so um, yeah, chair yoga and laughter yoga is definitely on the cards. So, guys, that's brilliant, and this is lovely because this is something that I've been wanting to do myself with people as well for a long time online. So this could be the beginning stages of it, and yeah. Um, hmm. So the thing as well is, oh yeah. So let me see. Angela, Mags, I think you're already there. I'm not sure if you are, but if you're not, go over to my Facebook page. You can go later after this if you want. But one second, write it in the comments. So if you connect on my Facebook page, it's Aontacht, Aontacht. I just put the link there. Um, is it showing up? Okay. So fb.com. Um, so is that link active? I'm not sure. But if you go to Aontacht, that is my yoga page. Aontacht is the Irish word for unity. Um, the website is aontacht.ie or .com. Um, it's a very basic website at the moment. It's something I built myself a long time ago. Um, but I'm still proud of it. But I sort of basically taught myself how to do things like that while because it needed to be done, and I had lots of time and energy, not a lot of money, so I dug in the heels and learned a bit of website craftery. Um, but if you like that page, connect over on Intuct on Facebook. Um, that will probably be where I will begin announcing and hosting things like the yoga um, sessions. And what I will do is probably create like a mailing list um, for people to connect, say like through email. Um, and then from there, I'll send out the word. We can connect through, say, Zoom or some other program. It's also possible to do it through Facebook groups. Uh, but I will be honest with you, Facebook has been very good. Okay, um, but I don't completely trust Facebook, um, and it's not good to have complete reliance on one system. Um, because I have been banned off like I mean banned off banned off Facebook. The last ban was like I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks. uh, so, but the way it works, it's all done by sort of AI computers and stuff. And if they think if this is all during the time when the vaccines and the masks and coronavirus and stuff, and I was sharing posts and articles that they didn't like, which is going against the mainstream narrative. Um, and I kept getting warnings about they didn't like these posts and all this stuff. And eventually, then I got kicked off. Um, but I served my time, and I came back stronger than ever, more determined. Here I am, live on Facebook. But but what it sort of encouraged me to do and made me realize is that I don't want to be completely reliant on Facebook. Um, so I actually have my own, say, for want of a better term, social media platform. Okay, um, and I've been sort of tinkering with that over the last while, and it's about ready to go. Um, and what I will be doing is then inviting people over then to that platform, um, and it's a place where it will be like a place for free speech. Actually, it's on the excuse me. Um, you can see it on the little roller thing there. Um, initially, it's going to be based around this "I'm awake, are you?" But within "I'm awake, are you?" then there's going to be different sort of talking points. So one will be say political, um, and dealing with different things around the world, even including the coronavirus and all those different topics that I'm not going to talk about here on Facebook. uh, but then a huge part of it is the we'll call it the spiritual aspect and the waking up to yourself. So, um, I this all sort of began a long time ago as well, where I started like a blog, and from that then a Facebook page. Um, and initially it was called Sleepy Moose. Okay, and so if you go to sleepymoose.com, you can actually find the link to the original blog, or Sleepy Moose pages on Facebook as well. But the tagline then was, and Sleepy Moose came about because uh, my name is Seamus, and or Shay, and my friends in college called me Moose, and I like to sleep a lot. Very relaxed person, um, but I got the name Sleepy Moose just one time by a friend, and it stuck, and I liked it. And so I worked with that, and I created a blog and a page called Sleepy Moose, and the tagline was Sleepy Moose, waking up from the world around to the world within. Okay, and that eventually then has led on to this "I'm awake, are you?" Um, but it's the same concept, waking up from the world around to the world within. So I'll be covering everything there. But with this platform, then it allows us to share and say whatever we want without um, having to worry about Big Brother and Big Brother Mark Zuckerberg coming down upon us and warnings and bans and all that stuff. So it's sort of the next step. I'd love to sort of have that community going where we're all sort of, and different people can be on different levels. Some people might just like the political, um, and some people might just like the spiritual. Uh, Me personally, I'm into all of it because every part of life is important, and it's all ways for us to wake up. And there are so many sort of areas and aspects in life that we need to wake up to. Okay. Uh, it's I think it's important to be aware of how the world has been run, um, on different levels, and all that stuff is, how do you call it, um, superficial in a sense that it's good to know all these things, to be aware of it. Okay, but the most important thing then is to have that inner awareness. So once you have that inner peace, and once you are strong in her, and that to the point where nothing outside can disturb your peace, then you can start looking around the world and what's happening around the world, and you can take it in without it being detrimental to your health. Because that is the other thing. If you become aware first of the realities of the world, for example, um, and you don't have that inner peace, then it's going to good. It's going to freak you out and just mess you up. People will like suffer from stress and anxiety and all this stuff, just from what they're reading on the news, and even things that like have no effect on them whatsoever. That's the crazy thing about it. But that's what makes it real. Okay, the it doesn't matter what's happening in the world or what the news says. Okay, all of that fear and terror, it becomes very real when it is translated into your body. Okay, and that's what's happened. Absolutely, it's good to have balance. Um, it's seriously, it's all about balance, equanimity. Um, so, but yeah, so it's important to um be able to maintain that inner peace no matter what's happening in the outside world. But all those things, that fears and stresses become real and translated into your body. I'll actually leave that up because I like that. They become translated into your body through your mind. Okay. And that might seem a bit esoteric. I'm not too sure, but it's very real. Okay. So what happens is people would see things on the news or read an article, and then they formulate ideas in their mind, which then creates emotions and feelings in the body, which then, I mean, disperses and gets and goes into the body. So we hold these stresses and fears and anxieties within our muscles, so that you got like muscular tension and all of these different things, stresses, and which lead then to further complications later down the line. Um, so that is why I think it's important to be aware of all of the things that are happening in the world. Um, but the most important thing is to be able to come back to that inner peace, that place of stillness within ourselves. Um, and that the thing is, okay, that that place is always there, and that place is impenetrable. Okay, it cannot be penetrated. Um, so, but we allow the illusions of the world, the outside world, to affect us. Um, and this is why, coming back to Angela's point there, it's good to have balance. Okay. Um, it's so important in this world and in this day and age, especially when we're just bombarded with information from all areas. Everywhere we look, it's like phones and television and newspapers, conversations. You, I mean, you go into Tesco, or they don't do it in Aldi or Lidl because they don't have the loudspeakers. But you go into like Tesco and maybe Dunn's and other Sainsbury's and other places, um, and through the loudspeaker while you're trying to do your shopping, then you've got like notices just reminding you to be afraid, and keep your distance and don't get too close to other humans. All of this stuff. So it's you know it's it's not right, but there's a lot of madness out there, and that is why it is now more than ever important to, I feel anyway, for me to put myself out there into the world, as uncomfortable as it is for me to put myself out there, and like things like this. Even it wasn't always easy for me to, you call it, say, public speaking, and even going live, all of these different things. um it's not always easy to start, but it is very rewarding to do so. Um, First of all, you build up the inner character within yourself. You become stronger, more confident in yourself. But then when you see the difference that it has on other people's lives, um, that is the best reward ever. When you see that what you're doing is making a difference, and that's an amazing thing. So, what I want to do is to encourage other people. Um, it's because this is the thing, like we're all equal. No one is better than another person. Um, we're all at different stages of life and awakening and all this stuff. Okay, um, but we're all. This is the other message is that we're all one. Okay, like I mean that literally, we're all one. Okay, I love the line that we're all experiencing life. We're like the universe experiencing itself subjectively. Okay, but we are life experiencing itself through us. Okay, um, but on multiple levels we are one. Okay, but let's come back to Earth for a second and just accept that we are one human race, one people. And the sooner we realize that and come together, the better for everybody. Okay. Um, and that we have much more in common with ourselves or with each other than we have than differences. Okay. We've much more similarities than differences. So yeah, I'm putting myself out there, fighting through working through the uncomfortableness of putting myself out there into the world, with the hope of encouraging others, letting other people know that you're not alone. I had a lovely conversation with a fellow yesterday who was he's putting out lots of different things on an Instagram page, um, and really things that I resonate and connect with as well. And so I reached out and I called him yesterday. We had a great conversation. So I hope to have him on here at some point as well. Um, we'll go over some of the things that he posts, and hopefully, hopefully we won't get banned by Facebook for doing so. But this is the risk we must take. Um, but guys, I encourage you, please, to go over to um, the website I'm Awake Are You, www.imawake.ru. Right now, I used to have that pointing to the Facebook page. Right now, I have it pointing to um, the sign up page, okay, for the newsletter. So if you go to I'm Awake Are You, imawake.ru, you will see a sign up page for the newsletter. Put in your name and email address. Um, Once you do that, it will take you to another page. If you would like to donate to the cause, that would be amazing. But you don't have to. Underneath that, there's a link which will bring you back to the Facebook page. Okay. Um, but eventually, then I'm Awake or You will point to a main website which will contain everything from the newsletter to the community, and lots of different things. Okay. So I'm doing this all myself. The last few months, I've actually had a bit of help from a lovely lady over in Australia, Carol. If you're listening, thank you very much for being there. If it wasn't actually for Carol coming on board when she did, I would have lost the page, because when I got kicked off of Facebook, all my pages, including my yoga pages, were gone as well. So it's because of her that I set her up as an admin, that the page was still able to run. Uh, so go to the I'm Awake Are You, put in your name and address. Uh, that will put your name on the mailing list. And then when things are ready to roll, I'll be sending out the invites then for people to join the community, which will be an external social media platform, completely independent of everything else, and a place for free speech, love, and peace to prosper and flourish, for information to be shared. And from there, then we can use that as a central hub to, expand, and people can use their other social media outlets then to share the the knowledge and the information. Okay, so this is, yeah, turned into a very different session or episode than I thought it was going to be, but I love how it's gone. And thank you very much, everybody who has participated. Um, Excuse me. Really appreciate you all being here. Um, and one more time, I'm just going to show this Angela's message. It's good to have balance. Um, so with that, I'm going to wrap up, and I may come back because I want to I'm going to just kind of try and keep this cohesive as it is. I'm going to wrap this up. May come back later on, um, and maybe read some articles, or else I might record that offline and then upload it. We'll see how it goes. But again, this is the whole beauty of the live sessions, is that when you participate and join in, it can go anywhere. And I love where this has gone right now. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for being here. Much love. Namaste to you. Bring these up. Namaste. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you, and hope to see you around more often. Share this video, and let's get the word out there. Okay. So stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith.